we're coming into AI in creative ops, which is new, and we're all following ChatGPT, Midjourney. All of that is just. But we have a few results here because we did it last year, and what's really interesting is on a previous slide, or one of the slides coming up, it said we got results saying that 30% of creative ops are using a DAM system or using a resource management system. And then I look at this result, and 45% are using support creative work. So they seem to have jumped on to, maybe it's experimental. A lot of AI stuff is experimental now, but it's really interesting. Of that, you know, we had people say I'm using it for copyright and generative imagery, AI resource talent management. So I'm really curious. Everybody's kind of looking into it. Nobody's done it at scale yet. Where are you starting? Where are you exploring?
So we are still, I'd say, in exploration stage. I think for us, we really are about still protecting our creative talent. That's what Hallmark prides itself in. So we're not seeing it as replacing human creativity. It's more like, how is it going to add value to sort of like helping through the workload, our productivity, reducing our complexity. So we're looking at the moment very much as a tool to help. So, you know, the Photoshop one, like extending out bleeds, we do that a lot manually. So how can that help us? You know, I think how it can help start off an idea. So looking at trends, pulling sort of like a mood board together, all of that speeds up a lot of that process. But for the moment, we're not looking at it to fully create assets. We're still very much, that's our people who will do that, and you know, we pride ourselves in that creativity.
And since you oversee, or you got the finger on the pulse to quite a lot of creatives, copywriters, etc., what's the feeling on the ground? Are they fearful of it? Or they think this is exciting? I'm going to get on board here? And no, there's definitely a role for me, because it's not to be all and end all. Now, I have my own viewpoint on that, experimenting with generative AI, that it can do stuff conceptually, as you say, but it's not going to go into the precision work that you would get with a studio worker right now. It just can't, in terms of placement of stuff and pixel perfect and all of that.
And, you know, I think it's not going to give you originality, which Hallmark's all about. And you know, we've got people that are really excited about it, and they're the people who are really, you know, into technology, really like, what's the next thing Adobe's bringing out for me? What's AI doing Adobe? So you've got really people who are embracing it, but we've got people quite scared of it, I think, as well. I think people are a little bit like, oh, is that going to replace me? Am I going to lose my job? So I think it's a real mixture across people, and you know, they're different. We've got a project team on it. We're sort of like making sure we're communicating to everybody. So I think everybody feels more comfortable now that we're like, you know, we are protecting our creative talent. It's not going to replace you. And I think it's just, you know, we'll be seeing how we move along and how we use it. We're bringing out rules of engagement with it to make sure everybody uses it right. So, yeah, I think it is interesting. We'll see where it goes.
And coming to that, because we're deploying a workflow solution with you guys in terms of the very early days, right away through the process, integrating with some of your internal systems. Given that AI can, you know, automate a lot of things, do you still see a role for a sort of compliance through the process? Yes, it's going to help at certain parts, but at certain parts, you're still going to have the rigor of checks, compliance before something goes to the printer or something like that. I assume in your business, fine generation in certain parts, but still manage the workflow so that we have governance up until something goes to market.
I think,
is that correct?
Yeah, and I think because we create such visual product, we'll always still have that human approval. But I think, like you said, you can use AI to speed things up. So, you know, we've got a thing at the moment where our data's not always, you know, not correct, doesn't match Adobe as what's in our manufacturing spec. We could probably use AI going forward to check that data matches, and that'd be really fast rather than a human doing that. You know, for writing, we proofread every one of our ads, make sure it's spelt correctly, you know, the grammar's correct on it. Currently, that gets passed by 2 proofreaders for every new create we do. You know, we might, I think what we're trying to do at the moment is, can we get AI to do that first proof check? But then that second one will always be by the human, because it's like, is its placement of text? It might tell us it's spelt correct, but is the placement of text correct on the design and everything like that? So I think, you know, we can definitely use it to help us with some of that governance, but I think we'll still have humans in there for the time being.